Hello, where I'm from this Jane's Videos, and I am back with another Halloween animatronic review, and this one is on the Spirit Halloween 2020 Lord Dakhanavar. Now this is obviously one of the strangest animatronics released for Spirit Halloween 2020. And not strange in the fact that he's weird, strange in the fact of how he was released. If you do not know, this guy was actually released after Halloween. I knew about this guy before Halloween, and this is the animatronic I was talking about in my ranking video that I released in October, where there was an animatronic that I was waiting for it to be released to make the ranking video, but it never got released. He did get released, but it was after Halloween, and it is so strange because why they would release an animatronic after Halloween, I'm not sure. I know they had their reason, but I don't know why. I don't think anyone knows why. It's really, really weird that they released him the month after Halloween was over. But hey, now we have him for Halloween 2021. Another weird thing about this animatronic, well, not really weird, but cool, is that he is a vampire, which is awesome. Vampires, if you do not know, are one of my favorite Halloween monsters of all time. They're absolutely up in my top 10. And we have not gotten a vampire animatronic since 2011 from Spirit Halloween. 9 years, well 10 years now, but 9 years when he came out. That is pretty crazy. And now we finally got one. So Spirit, if you're watching this, which I'm sure you are or will at some point, please, please, please give us more vampires, because vampires are absolutely fantastic monsters. They're a classic symbol of Halloween, and it's never made sense to me why we don't get more of them, because they are one of the things that clicks in your mind as soon as you think of Halloween. So it's always surprised me that we don't get more. But I'm so happy we got one. This is Lord Dakhanavar. Now he's a vampire, he's a bat vampire, not really a vampire bat, but a bat vampire. So he's one of the vampires that's more Nosferatu-like than Dracula-like, where he is a bat hybrid thing. And those are honestly my favorite type of vampires. So I love the Dracula vampires too, but these ones are definitely my favorite. So I'm really happy we got him, though I would really like to see more Dracula-esque vampire props. I really like this guy. So basically, if you haven't seen Lord Dakhanavar, I'm just going to move the camera on up here. He hangs. He is a hanging animatronic, hanging upside down like a bat, and it is really, really awesome. He retails at Spirit Halloween. Of course, he was released after Halloween, so he was never been in stores, though it is possible that he will be in stores for 2021. Who knows? But it retails for $179.99 on the site. I'm pretty sure he's still on there. If he is, there will be a link to purchase this guy down in the description below. But with that out of the way, let's get into reviewing this amazing animatronic. So firstly, here we have his awesome looking face. He looks super cool. I love his pointy bat ears there. He's got his fangs, and just look at his eyes. His eyes are one of the coolest things on him. The pitch black eyes. Now they are red when he's in action. They light up red, but just look at those eyes. That looks so cool. I love his pitch black eyes. They're absolutely fantastic. And the detail on his face all around's pretty good. It's not as good as in the stock photos on the website, which was one complaint that a lot of people I know had with Dakhanavar when he was released, is that his detail is way different than it shows on the stock photos. But honestly, I don't mind it much because he still looks super cool. This guy is an entirely latex prop. Now, up here, I will show this in just a moment, up where his hands are, and there's a big difference there. But the head is a lot more solid. I mean, it's still squishy because it's latex, but it's a lot more solid, this piece is. But then when you move up here, which I'm going to show in just a second, it's a lot more squishy, and I'll get to that in a second because it does have a couple problems because of that, but I'll show that in just a second. So up here, you have his hands crossing his chest, which really does look cool. The hands have some nice details. As you can see, they've got a bunch of veins, of course, that are popping out, which I really, really like. I think it's got really cool detail there. He's got black fingernails. Now, here's the issue, though, with this. And honestly, it doesn't bother me too much. I know a lot of people have complained about this, but to me, it doesn't bother me too much because it's I think if you take good care of him, it'll be fine. But this is extremely thin latex here. Like, super, super thin. A lot of people complained because they thought it looks bad, because it kind of gets bunched up in some spots. You can probably notice it. It kind of gets bunched up some places, like here and stuff. I don't mind that too much. I mean, yeah, it would be better if it didn't, but I don't mind it too much because in the dark, in a haunt, you're not really going to notice the fact that it gets bunched up like that. You're just not really going to see it, so it's not really going to be a big deal. But yeah, it is definitely something they could have improved on because this is extremely thin latex, especially up here. I can definitely see this tearing if you don't take good care of it. But like I said, the head is extremely solid, especially the chin here. This is the most solid part. This is like extremely solid, whereas this is like very, very flimsy and thin. But if you take good care of it, it should be fine. I know you can't really see it because of the way I have the light position, but I'll move it up a little bit. Up here is his IR sensor, which is disguised there. It's not disguised amazingly, but it's definitely not going to be noticeable in the dark in a haunt, so it's not really a big deal. But that's his chest area, which is the most controversial part of the prop. And then as we move up here, you can have a better look at his body, which is basically just fabric that looks like bat wings wrapped around him. So that's all this is. It looks good. They got some different shading on there, which looks nice. He's basically like the other hanging cocoon type props, like Cocoon Corpse or Zombie Bait or Bloody Bag of Jokes in the way that he is positioned. He definitely has different movement because he doesn't squirm from side to side because that wouldn't make sense for a vampire. But he's basically that same type of prop. And then at the top there, I'll try to lift this up, he's got a hook at the bottom which you could just hang him on stuff with. So it's very easy to hang him. If you don't have a place to hang him, I mean, I don't know why you would get him then, but it's very easy to hang, and that is a good thing about him. Now, one complaint I have with this guy that I haven't seen anyone else really point out is this right here. I'm sure you can see it. This cord here, that is a bit of an issue because obviously he needs a cord to function. But the issue with it is that there's not really a way to cover it up. I mean, yes, on the back you can cover it up by putting it through the wings, but once it reaches past where the wings are, there's no way to cover up that cord because it's just going to flow from the back, which is kind of annoying, but like, it is what it is, I guess. I can't really think of a way they could have avoided that. There really isn't one that I can think of. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just, you kind of got to deal with it. Obviously, in the dark in a haunt, you likely will not see the wire because it is a black wire, so it's not really going to be too big of a problem, I don't think. Let me just adjust this real quick. This is my first video with my new camera that's not either a haunt teaser or a short film, so I'm still kind of getting used to how this works. But do you guys like the new camera? Let me know. I think this is a pretty nice camera, and I'm happy with it. But yeah, he's it's a little problem, but it's not too big of a deal. Now, one thing I do want to mention about this guy is his audio quality. His audio quality is absolutely not the best by any means. However, when he came out, the first few people who got him were like, oh, his audio quality is absolutely terrible. And then it's because, and it sounded like it in videos. It sounded horrible. It sounded super quiet, like you couldn't hear it at all. And it was like, wow, this is a big letdown from what the video promised. But lo and behold, in person, his audio quality isn't the best. It still sounds kind of off. It doesn't have the best speaker, but typically YJ doesn't have the better speakers like SVI or a company like that does. Though YJ does have good speakers a lot of times. They're not the ones with some of the best speakers, if that makes sense. But for him, the audio quality is kind of weird, but it's not quiet like we all thought it was going to be. If you saw the original videos of him when people first got him, everyone thought he was going to be super quiet. He's not, which is fantastic. He's actually very loud, so that's a good thing. That might just be my model, but I would assume that's how they're supposed to be, so the models that are quiet might be defective, or you just can't tell on video. I don't know, but it's not that bad. But anyways, without further ado, I'm going to show you what Lord Dakhanavar does.
Step back. No, wait. Come closer. Much closer. Let me breathe in your blood. nourishment, I must feast. And the only blood I smell is yours. You should not have come here. Now I will follow you until you give me what I need. Blood. Come, let me listen to your heartbeat. Oh, so strong, so alive. It will be mine.
So yeah, overall, he is a great animatronic. I personally am very, very happy with him, and I'm very happy to own him. To finally get another vampire after 9 years is truly amazing, and it makes me so happy. I hope they continue making more monsters that we need to see more of. Ghosts, mummies, werewolves, vampires. I'm super happy. I'm very, very happy with this, and I think he's a great animatronic. There was controversy surrounding him when the first few people got him because people thought he was bad quality. He's not. He's a good prop, and I definitely highly recommend him if you're into vampires, which I know majority of people who like Halloween are into vampires because they definitely are one of the best monsters. So if you like vampires, then I highly recommend you pick him up. $179.99 I would say is a little bit high for this guy, but based on the prices of the other props that are kind of like him, it's not too bad. I think $160 definitely would have been more reasonable since he only has 2 animations, but it's not a terrible, terrible price. Like, if he was $200, then I think that would be pretty crazy. But he's fairly large. He's about 4 to 5, no, he wouldn't be 4 feet, but he's about 5 feet hanging down from the ceiling, which is definitely a good height for him, I'd say. He's definitely a cool prop. He looks very creepy, and he's definitely one of the best vampires I think we've ever seen. We haven't seen very many, so it's kind of hard to say, but he definitely is a great vampire prop, and to have no vampires for 9 years and then have one is just truly amazing, and it's super cool to finally have another vampire. So I'm going to give this guy an 8 out of 10. He's a really cool animatronic, and like I said, if you're into vampires, I highly recommend you purchase him on Spirit Halloween online. No one knows if he's going to come to stores this year, so if you want to wait for that, I don't think you should, just in case he doesn't. If you really want him, I think you should purchase him online while he's there. I hope you all enjoyed this video of Lord Dakhanavar. More videos to come soon, I promise. I've been lacking a little bit because I've been taking a bit of a way too long of a break, a 4-month break after Halloween, but I'm getting back on track, and I will try to still be uploading a lot during the off season. We've still got a little bit of a ways to go until the Halloween season arrives, of course, since it's only March. But as soon as stores start getting their stuff in June and July, you will definitely see a lot more videos. But I'm still going to try my hardest to keep pumping out some videos during the off season. Not as many as you'll get during the Halloween season, of course, but still I want to give you guys Halloween videos all year round, so I will try my hardest to continue to make some videos for you guys. It's just a lot harder to find videos to make other than films when it's not the Halloween season. But I do have a few props that I can review right now, which is definitely going to be good filler for videos right now. I hope you all enjoyed. Keep howling at the moon, my werewolves.